Alex Carter walked through the streets of Lyra's city with a calm determination. The council had approved his worthiness, and the frontier missions had proven his courage, creativity, and humanity. Yet today felt different. There was an air of celebration, of anticipation, that Alex could feel even in the quietest corners of the city. He was about to take a step that no human had ever taken before, a step that would solidify not only his bond with Lyra, but also humanity's recognition among the Corellians. Lyra walked beside him, her presence steady and reassuring. She wore the ceremonial robes of her people, glowing faintly in the light and reflecting centuries of tradition. Her eyes sparkled with pride and affection as she glanced at him. "Are you ready?" she asked softly. Alex nodded, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. "I think so. This is bigger than anything I've imagined, bigger than anything I've studied or experienced." Lyra's hand found his, and he felt a warmth that steadied him. "That is why you were chosen. Humans have a way of rising to challenges that others often underestimate. You have proven that. Today, the universe will see it too." They arrived at the ceremonial plaza, a vast open space surrounded by Corellian architecture that shimmered like crystal. Citizens, officials, and honored guests had gathered, forming a circle around a central platform where the ceremony would take place. The energy in the air was palpable, a combination of anticipation, curiosity, and respect. The council members were seated at the front, their expressions attentive. Some were smiling, others still reserved, but all eyes were on Alex. He could feel the weight of the moment pressing on him, but he also felt a sense of pride. He had faced tests of courage, strategy, and morality, and he had succeeded. Now it was time to face the ultimate challenge, recognition of his place among Lyra's people. A soft musical tone filled the air as Lyra stepped forward onto the platform. Alex followed, feeling the energy shift around him. The council's eldest member raised a hand, and the plaza fell silent. The ceremony began. "Alex Carter," the eldest counselor intoned, "you have faced challenges that tested your courage, ingenuity, and character. You have acted with integrity, creativity, and compassion. Today you stand not only as a visitor to our world, but as a partner to Lyra of the Corellian people. Speak now, and tell us why you accept this union." Alex took a deep breath, his gaze sweeping the plaza. "I accept this union," he began, his voice steady despite the butterflies in his stomach. "I accept it not because it is easy or expected, but because I have learned, observed, and grown. I have seen the strength, wisdom, and kindness of Lyra and her people. I have faced challenges that tested me, and I have discovered what it truly means to act with courage, creativity, and empathy. I choose to join my life with Lyra because I respect her, I trust her, and I believe together we can face whatever the universe brings. I am proud to be human, and I am proud to share my humanity with this world." A hush fell over the plaza. Alex could see the council exchanging glances, some nodding, some whispering. Lyra's expression softened as she reached out and took both his hands. "And I accept you, Alex," she said. "I accept your courage, your creativity, and your humanity. Together we will face the challenges of our worlds, and together we will grow stronger." The council's eldest member rose, his voice carrying over the plaza. "By the authority of the Corellian Council, and in recognition of merit, courage, and unity, this council acknowledges the bond between Lyra and Alex Carter. Let this union serve as a symbol of the value of understanding, courage, and the strengths that humans bring to our galaxy." The plaza erupted in applause and cheers. Citizens and officials alike stepped forward to offer congratulations. Alex felt a warmth that spread through him, a sense of belonging he had never experienced before. Humans had often been underestimated by alien societies, but now he realized that courage, empathy, and ingenuity could earn respect across the stars. Lyra leaned close, whispering in his ear, "You did it, Alex. You've shown them what it means to be human." Alex smiled, feeling a surge of pride. "No, we did it together." The ceremony continued with the traditional rites of Lyra's people. Symbols of trust, courage, and unity were exchanged, glowing faintly in their hands as energy flowed through the plaza. The ritual was unlike anything Alex had ever witnessed, combining beauty, tradition, and emotion in a way that transcended language. He felt the energy resonate with him, as if recognizing his actions, his heart, and his humanity. As the final part of the ceremony concluded, Lyra and Alex stood together, hands entwined, facing the crowd. Citizens of all species cheered, applauded, and even shed tears of joy. For Alex, this moment was more than personal. It was symbolic. It was a moment where humans were not outsiders, not weak, not inferior, but capable of inspiring respect and admiration through courage, creativity, and empathy. The celebrations extended into the evening. Holographic lights danced across the sky, projecting images of galaxies, constellations, and scenes from both Corellian and human history. Music filled the plaza, a harmonious blend of cultures that symbolized unity and connection. Alex laughed as he watched children, both human and Corellian, play together, their curiosity and joy bridging worlds. Lyra led him to a quieter balcony overlooking the city. The lights of the plaza shimmered below, reflecting in the crystalline structures. The twin moons rose in the distance, bathing the scene in soft silver light. "You've come a long way, Alex," Lyra said softly, her hand resting on his shoulder. "From a human visitor in our world to a partner recognized by the Council and our people. You've proven not only your courage but the value of humanity itself." Alex looked at her, his heart full. "I never imagined that humans could be seen this way. I always thought we were just ordinary, just surviving. But you've shown me something else. That we can inspire, protect, and make a difference, even in worlds far beyond our own." Lyra smiled, her eyes reflecting the moons. "Exactly. And together, we will continue to face challenges, explore, and grow. Your humanity complements our strengths, and our society will benefit from what you bring. Courage, empathy, and creativity, these are universal, Alex. Today proves that humans matter." Alex felt a swell of pride and purpose. He realized that his journey had not only been about personal achievement, but about proving the potential of his species. Humans were often underestimated in the galaxy, but courage, ingenuity, and empathy were forces that no one could ignore. Today, he had not only won Lyra's hand, but had also shown that humans could shine on the galactic stage. As they stood together, watching the celebrations below, Alex felt a sense of belonging he had never known. He was part of something larger than himself, part of a union that bridged species, cultures, and worlds. He understood that his human qualities, once dismissed, once underestimated, were now recognized, respected, and celebrated. The night continued with music, laughter, and storytelling. Alex shared tales of his human adventures, his travels, and his observations, while Lyra introduced him to Corellian history, art, and traditions. Their bond grew deeper with every word, every gesture, and every shared experience. At the end of the evening, as the city quieted and the stars twinkled above, Alex realized that his life had changed forever. He had traveled the galaxy, faced danger, and been tested by a species far more advanced than his own. Yet through every trial, his humanity had been his greatest strength. Courage, empathy, creativity, these were not just traits. They were bridges connecting him to Lyra, her people, and the galaxy itself. Lyra turned to him, her expression serene. "The universe is vast, Alex. There will be challenges, discoveries, and wonders beyond imagination. But together we will face them. Your humanity is our strength, and my strength is with you. This is only the beginning." Alex smiled, feeling a warmth and confidence he had never known. "Then let's face it together, all of it, and let the galaxy see what humans can do." And so, as the twin moons cast their silver light over the crystalline city, Alex, Carter, and Lyra stood side by side, united by trust, respect, and the extraordinary qualities that made humanity shine among the stars. The galaxy was vast, full of challenges and wonders, but together they were unstoppable, a testament to courage, empathy, and the remarkable power of the human spirit. For the first time, Alex truly understood that being human was not a limitation. It was a gift, and now it was a gift that the universe could no longer ignore. Alex Carter felt a strange mix of excitement and nervousness as he followed Lyra out of the observation deck. The energy of the Orinthia trading hub was still buzzing around him, but now his focus was entirely on her. The way she moved, her calm assurance, and her confidence in him made him feel both inadequate and fascinated. He realized that every step he took alongside her would be a step into an entirely new world. They boarded a sleek Corellian shuttle that seemed to hum with quiet power. Alex had seen many ships in his travels, but none felt alive in the way this one did. The walls pulsed faintly with light, shifting colors in rhythm with an almost imperceptible beat. He couldn't help but wonder if the ship itself was aware of its passengers, if it was somehow part of Lyra's own presence. "Where are we going?" Alex asked, trying to keep his voice steady despite the thrill and tension of the morning. "To my homeworld," Lyra replied simply. "There you will learn about my people, our ways, and perhaps begin to understand why I have sought you." Alex swallowed. Going to her homeworld meant leaving the relative safety of the trading hub and stepping into a society far more advanced and far more complicated than anything he had encountered. "And what exactly will I be learning?" "Many things," she said, her eyes glinting with amusement. "How we live, how we think, how we judge worthiness. You will see why courage, empathy, and creativity are valued by my people, and why humans possess these qualities in ways few others do." The shuttle left Orinthia's orbit, and Alex felt the familiar thrill of space travel, but this time it was mixed with a new sense of anticipation. He had studied alien cultures for years, yet nothing he had read prepared him for personal immersion in one of the galaxy's most enigmatic civilizations. When they arrived on Lyra's home planet, the first thing Alex noticed was the light. It was softer than anything he had seen, a warm glow that seemed to filter through the thin atmosphere and reflect off the crystalline architecture of the city below. Buildings rose in elegant curves, their surfaces alive with faint holographic patterns that shifted as people moved past them. Streets were filled with Corellians, who moved with the same graceful confidence he had seen in Lyra, yet each one had a distinct personality expressed in posture, color, and gesture. Lyra led him down a winding path to her family residence, a structure that seemed both enormous and intimate at the same time. Alex noticed that even in such a futuristic city, there were touches of nature, gardens that floated above ground, streams that ran through transparent tunnels, and delicate vines that shimmered with bioluminescence. Inside, the house was quiet and warm. Soft lights illuminated a living area with flowing walls and furniture that seemed to mold itself to the shape of the occupant. Alex marveled at the design, noting that it reflected a culture that prized harmony, intelligence, and efficiency. "You will stay here," Lyra said, "but first you must see how we live. It is essential that you understand our customs, our priorities, and our values. Only then can you make an informed choice about what you have been asked." Alex nodded, feeling the weight of her words. "I want to learn. I really do." Lyra led him to a chamber filled with floating lights and holographic displays. "We value courage, creativity, and wisdom. These are tested in our daily lives through challenges, cooperation, and moral choices. Observation and participation are both required. You must engage with my people to see how your human qualities measure against our standards." For the next several days, Alex was immersed in Corellian culture. He attended council meetings where debates were conducted not with raised voices, but with precise thought projections that conveyed reasoning, emotion, and intention simultaneously. He learned to navigate telepathic discussions where a single gesture or word could express volumes. At first, he struggled. Humans were not telepathic, and though he could follow the flow of conversation, he often felt like he was missing subtle details. Yet Lyra was patient, guiding him, explaining nuances, and praising his ability to notice patterns and intentions that even some Corellians overlooked. "You have a gift," she told him one evening, as they observed the city from a floating terrace. "You notice what is hidden, see connections others ignore, and adapt quickly. These are qualities my people admire, and they are rare even among Corellians." Alex felt a surge of pride but also humility. Being admired by such an advanced species was intimidating. I didn't think humans were particularly special," he admitted. "We're just ordinary," Lyra tilted her head. "Ordinary does not mean incapable. Humans are underestimated because you approach problems differently. You combine courage with empathy, logic with creativity, and adaptability with intuition. That is why I sought you. That is why your species continues to inspire, even across the galaxy." Over the next week, Alex's human qualities were tested in ways he could never have imagined. He participated in simulations designed to measure leadership and courage, where holographic crises forced him to make split-second decisions. In one exercise, he had to rescue a group of Corellians trapped in a virtual collapsing structure. Unlike most Corellians, who relied on perfect calculations and precise maneuvers, Alex improvised, using tools creatively and taking risks that paid off. Lyra observed quietly, her expression unreadable until the exercise ended. You act with both caution and bravery, she said. Most Corellians act only with certainty, and often miss what is possible because of fear of error. You see beyond fear. This is why you are remarkable. Alex felt his chest swell, not with arrogance, but with a sense of purpose. For the first time, he truly felt that being human had value in a universe that often dismissed his species as primitive or fragile. The days passed in a blend of learning, observation, and subtle adventures. Alex explored the floating gardens, attended strategy exercises with young Corellians, and even joined a small expedition outside the city to study local wildlife. In each experience, his instincts, intuition, and empathy set him apart. The Corellians, usually reserved and controlled, began to show admiration, curiosity, and even affection for his efforts. One evening, as they watched the twin moons rise over the crystalline horizon, Lyra spoke softly. "You have done well, human. You have not only survived our tests, but inspired those around you. My people are beginning to see what I see, that humans are capable of greatness beyond expectation." Alex looked at her, feeling both pride and confusion. "So, you really mean it?" "About marriage?" Lyra smiled faintly, her eyes reflecting the moons. "Yes, but it is not just about desire or admiration. It is about compatibility, courage, and understanding. You must see the value of your own species, your own mind, before you can make the choice to join your life with mine. Are you ready to see the next challenge?" Alex nodded, though he had no idea what lay ahead. "I'm ready, whatever it is." The next morning, Lyra led him to the outskirts of the city where a massive arena stood, built from transparent materials that glowed softly in the sunlight. "Here, humans and Corellians alike learn not only strength but strategy, empathy, and morality," she explained. "You will face a challenge designed to test all these qualities. It will not be simple, but it will show you and everyone else the value of human courage and ingenuity." Alex swallowed. His heart pounded with anticipation. "What kind of challenge?" "You will lead a small team in a simulated mission," Lyra replied. "It will test your problem-solving skills, leadership, and empathy. It will also test your ability to inspire trust and cooperation. You may fail. That is a risk I expect all participants to accept." The arena hummed with energy as Alex and his small team entered. The simulation began, presenting them with obstacles that required quick thinking, creative solutions, and decisive action. Walls shifted, corridors collapsed, and simulated dangers forced Alex to improvise constantly. He realized that the rules of the Corellian simulation did not allow for simple, formulaic solutions. Instead, success depended on courage, adaptability, and an understanding of the motivations of the team. Throughout the exercise, Alex's human traits, empathy, instinct, and creativity, proved invaluable. He guided his team through hazards, made risky decisions that ultimately paid off, and managed to keep morale high despite simulated threats. The Corellians watching the exercise murmured among themselves, impressed by the human's unconventional brilliance. At the conclusion of the simulation, Lyra approached him. Her expression was unreadable for a moment, then softened. "You have succeeded, human. Not because you followed rules perfectly, but because you understood what is important: trust, courage, and empathy. These are qualities that even the most advanced species sometimes overlook. You have proven that humans are exceptional." Alex felt a rush of pride and wonder. I didn't know I could do that. I just tried." Lyra placed her hand lightly on his arm. "And that is what makes you remarkable. You act not from obligation, but from understanding and choice. That is why I seek a life with you, not because you are perfect, but because you are human, and humans have the power to inspire greatness." As the twin moons rose again, Alex looked around at the glowing arena, the curious faces of Corellians, and the serene expression of Lyra. For the first time, he felt that he belonged not just among humans, not just in the galaxy, but in a place where his courage, creativity, and humanity. Alex Carter had grown more confident in the ways of the Corellians, but nothing could have fully prepared him for what came next. Lyra had promised challenges beyond observation and simulation, and now he was about to experience them firsthand. Early one morning, she arrived at his quarters with a calm determination that made his stomach twist with anticipation. "It is time," she said. "Today you will see how humans can shine not only in understanding but in action." "We leave the city." Alex frowned slightly. "Leave? Where are we going?" Lyra's smile was faint, almost mysterious. "To the frontier, a region where cooperation, Courage and ingenuity are tested every day. You will participate in a real mission alongside Corellians. You may encounter danger, but that is precisely why this is important. Courage is measured in reality, not simulation. Alex's pulse quickened. He had spent years studying alien cultures, but actual missions outside controlled environments were another matter entirely. His mind raced with questions. What kind of danger? Can I survive? Will I embarrass myself in front of her people? Lyra noticed his hesitation and placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. Do not fear. I chose you because I believe in your potential. What is human may surprise even you. They boarded a sleek shuttle that glided effortlessly into the skies above her city. The engines emitted a quiet hum, blending almost naturally with the sound of the wind outside. Alex stared through the window as the city shrank below them, marveling at the floating gardens, crystalline towers, and glowing streets. The beauty of it all made his chest tighten, but he had no time to dwell on awe. Soon the landscape shifted to wild terrain. Mountains with jagged peaks pierced the clouds, and vast forests stretched into the distance, dotted with strange alien flora that pulsed faintly with life. Lyra guided the shuttle to a hidden landing area near a valley where a small Corellian outpost stood. You will work with a team, Lyra explained as they disembarked. They are skilled, trained, and cautious. But they will need your perspective, the human perspective. Sometimes your instincts, courage, and creativity can solve problems my people cannot even imagine. Alex swallowed and nodded. He felt a mix of pride and fear. His human qualities had impressed Lyra in simulations, but real life was different. Here failure could be dangerous. The team was already waiting. 3 Corellians approached. One tall and serious, another calm and calculating, and the third energetic and curious. Each regarded Alex with polite interest, but it was clear they were skeptical. Humans rarely participated in frontier missions of this scale. Alex Carter, Lyra introduced. He will be with you. Watch him carefully, but also trust his instincts. You may be surprised. The team set off immediately. Their task was to investigate a series of disturbances in the valley, unexplained energy surges that threatened local wildlife and the safety of the outpost. As they approached, Alex observed his teammates' methods. The Corellians analyzed patterns, calculated probabilities, and moved with extreme caution. Alex's mind, however, worked differently. He noticed small details, the way the grass bent, the faint hum in the rocks, the irregularities in the path. Something's off over here, he said. Look at these plants. They're reacting unnaturally to the energy. I think the source is just beyond that ridge. The Corellians paused, surprised by his observation. They had overlooked these subtle signs because their training prioritized calculations over instinct. Alex smiled quietly. Humans often relied on intuition when logic failed, and right now it was proving useful. As they moved closer, the energy surged suddenly. Waves of light pulsed from a crystalline formation hidden among the rocks. The team froze. Alex's heart pounded, but he didn't hesitate. We need to approach from the side, he said, pointing to a narrow path between the stones. It's safer, and we can contain the energy without triggering it further. The team followed, and Alex guided them carefully. His directions relied not on advanced technology, but on observation, adaptability, and quick thinking. Step by step, they maneuvered around the unstable energy, moving closer to the source. Suddenly, the ground beneath them trembled. Rocks shifted and a low, vibrating hum filled the air. Alex realized the energy was more volatile than anticipated. Everyone hold on, he shouted. With a combination of quick decisions and human instinct, he helped the team navigate the dangerous terrain. They reached the crystalline formation, and Alex's eyes widened. It pulsed with an almost living energy, emitting a strange hum that resonated in his chest. The Corellians examined it with precision instruments, but Alex noticed something they didn't. The crystals responded to emotional and mental energy. Subtle gestures, tones, and intent seemed to affect the stability of the formation. Try focusing on balance, Alex suggested cautiously. Not control, balance. Let it resonate without forcing it. His teammates exchanged puzzled glances but followed his lead. Alex closed his eyes and concentrated, letting his instincts guide him. Slowly, the pulsing light softened and the crystals stabilized. The Corellian stared in astonishment. You managed it, the tall Corellian said, clearly impressed. How did you know? Alex shrugged. I just paid attention and trusted that acting with care and intent would work better than forcing the outcome. Lyra appeared then, stepping silently from the shadows. Her expression held admiration. "This is why humans are remarkable," she said softly. "Your instincts, courage, and understanding of living energy, qualities that cannot be taught, have stabilized the formation. You have proven that human intuition can complement even the most advanced technology and skill." Alex felt a surge of pride, but also humility. He realized that courage wasn't just about facing danger, it was about responsibility, observation, and knowing when to act. His human qualities had made a real difference, and for the first time, he felt that humans could truly hold their own in the galaxy. The team returned to the outpost with the energy stabilized. Alex's actions had not only protected the area, but had earned the respect of his Corellian teammates. They no longer saw him as merely an outsider. They recognized his value, his ingenuity, and his courage. That evening, as they rested in the outpost, Lyra approached Alex. "You have done well today," she said. "Not only did you succeed in the mission, but you demonstrated what I have tried to show you all along, that humans are exceptional. Your courage, creativity, and empathy are rare qualities, and they inspire those around you." Alex smiled, feeling a warmth he had never known. "I didn't do it alone. Your guidance helped, and I guess I just tried to see things differently." Lyra's eyes sparkled. "And that is the essence of humanity. Your ability to adapt, inspire, and act with intent even in unfamiliar circumstances is why I propose this union. It is not simply admiration. It is recognition of potential, respect, and understanding." For the next several days, Alex continued to participate in frontier missions, each presenting new challenges that tested his intellect, courage, and heart. He learned to navigate wild terrain, negotiate with unpredictable creatures, and make decisions that affected both Corellians and the natural world around them. Every time, his human perspective provided solutions that were unconventional but effective. Through it all, Lyra remained by his side, observing, guiding, and encouraging. Alex realized that her initial proposal was not just bold, it was a test of character. She had chosen him not only for admiration, but because he could rise to challenges that others could not, because his humanity allowed him to see possibilities where others saw limitations. One night, as they camped under a sky filled with alien constellations, Alex spoke softly. "I think I understand now. Being human, it's not just about surviving. It's about seeing, feeling, and acting in ways that matter. I didn't know I could make a difference like this." Lyra nodded, her hand brushing his. "Exactly. You have proven that humanity is not weak nor inferior. Courage, empathy, and creativity are strengths that can inspire entire worlds. This is why I seek a life with you. Not because you are perfect, but because you embody qualities that even the most advanced species admire." Alex felt a sense of purpose he had never experienced. He was no longer just a visitor, an observer, or a student. He was a human capable of standing alongside the most skilled beings in the galaxy, making a difference through his choices, his heart, and his courage. As he gazed at the alien constellations, Alex knew that the frontier missions were only the beginning. The galaxy was vast, filled with challenges, dangers, and wonders, and he had already proven that humans could rise to meet them. With Lyra by his side, he felt ready to face whatever lay ahead, confident in the power of his humanity, and inspired by the knowledge that his actions could change not only his own destiny, but the way the universe saw his species. Alex Carter had faced challenges before, but nothing prepared him for the one that awaited in the heart of Corellian society. After proving his courage and ingenuity on the frontier, he and Lyra returned to her city. The streets that had once seemed breathtaking now felt imposing. The crystalline towers shimmered in the sunlight, but behind their beauty lay expectations, traditions, and the weight of centuries-old rules. Lyra guided him to the council hall, a massive structure made of translucent materials that glowed softly from within. The building seemed to breathe with life, resonating with energy as if it recognized every visitor. Alex's heart pounded. The Corellian Council had never approved an interspecies marriage of this magnitude. His presence here was unprecedented, and the eyes of some of the most powerful beings in the galaxy would judge him. "You must understand," Lyra said softly as they approached the grand entrance. "The Council is cautious. They value tradition, logic, and order above all. They will question your worthiness, your intentions, and your ability to live as a Corellian partner. Your actions, your words, and even your mannerisms will be under scrutiny. Alex swallowed. I understand. I'll try my best. Lyra's eyes softened. That is all I ask. Be yourself and let your humanity show. That is your strength. Inside, the council hall was vast beyond imagination. The chamber was circular, with elevated seats for the council members who seemed to float above the floor. Light shimmered across the walls, projecting images of Corellian history, achievements, and values. The council members were statuesque, their presence commanding respect and attention. Alex felt a wave of intimidation. Alex Carter, Lyra announced as they entered. This is my choice. He has proven himself in our frontier tests, and I wish for the council to understand why I seek his companionship. Murmurs spread across the chamber. Some council members leaned forward, intrigued. Others frowned, skeptical of this unprecedented union. One tall, stern Corellian spoke first. Lyra, you risk tradition and protocol by proposing a human as your partner. How can you justify this decision? Lyra's voice was calm but firm. I justify it through observation, experience, and understanding. Alex Carter has demonstrated courage, creativity, and empathy in ways that even the most skilled Corellians cannot. His actions have stabilized energy disturbances, protected lives, and inspired those around him. I trust him, and I seek a life with him because he embodies qualities that our society values, yet rarely recognizes in humans. Alex felt a surge of pride, but also anxiety. The council would not be swayed by Lyra's admiration alone. He needed to show them his worth himself. When the stern Corellian spoke again, he straightened. Human, the council member said. Explain why you believe you are worthy of a Corellian partner. Speak plainly, for your words will carry weight. Alex took a deep breath. I may not have the skills or history of a Corellian, but I have learned, observed, and acted. I've faced challenges that required courage and creativity. I've worked with your people, and I've learned from them. I try to do what is right, to protect life and to inspire trust. I don't claim perfection, but I do claim the ability to act with purpose and care. That is why I believe I can stand as a worthy partner to Lyra. The council members exchanged glances. Some were impressed by his honesty. Others seemed unconvinced. Another member, older and quieter, spoke. Words are easy, human. Actions are what matter. How will we know your qualities are genuine and not merely cleverness or luck? Alex nodded, expecting this challenge. I understand. That is why I invite the council to observe me directly. Let me participate in tasks, decisions, and missions that will show my intentions and abilities. I do not ask for trust blindly. I am willing to prove it. A murmur of approval ran through some seats. Lyra smiled slightly. Very well. The council may observe. Human courage and ingenuity will be tested again, this time in social and moral situations rather than physical ones. Are you prepared, Alex? Alex straightened. I am. Over the following days, the council designed a series of tests to assess him. The first involved diplomacy. A neighboring Corellian district had been experiencing tension over resources, and the council wanted Alex to mediate. While Corellians relied on rigid protocols, Alex approached the situation differently. He listened first, spoke honestly, and suggested solutions that combined fairness with practicality. His human perspective revealed compromises the Corellians had overlooked, calming tensions quickly. Lyra watched silently, pride shining in her eyes. The council members who had doubted him began to whisper among themselves. Alex's ingenuity and empathy were having a tangible effect, and even the sternest critics could not ignore it. The next test involved strategy. A simulation projected potential disasters in the city, energy surges, structural instabilities, and sudden environmental changes. Alex was asked to propose a plan to protect citizens while minimizing disruption. He considered the human approach of adaptability, thinking beyond rigid patterns, prioritizing both logic and the human element of care. His plan succeeded where purely Corellian approaches failed. Buildings were stabilized, citizens were evacuated safely, and chaos was minimized. The council was visibly impressed. They had expected calculated logical solutions, but Alex had added insight, intuition, and empathy, human qualities that complemented Corellian skill. However, not all members were convinced. One member, sharp-eyed and suspicious, questioned his motivations. And what of loyalty, human? Can you maintain your commitment when faced with pressure, danger, or opposition? Words and actions in controlled settings are not proof of devotion. Alex met the counselor's gaze steadily. Loyalty is not about obedience or fear. It is about choice, about standing by what you believe is right and protecting those you care for. I cannot promise perfection, but I can promise that I will act with purpose, courage, and respect for Lyra and her people. That is the essence of loyalty. There was a pause. Even the skeptical counselor seemed to consider his words. Lyra reached out, lightly touching his arm. "He speaks with honesty," she said. "I trust him, and I believe the council will come to see his value as well." Finally, the last challenge was both subtle and profound. The council staged a moral dilemma, presenting Alex with a situation where he had to choose between saving a group of Corellians in immediate danger or preventing a larger catastrophe affecting the planet. The Corellians had calculated probabilities and risks, expecting the human to follow the safest statistical path, but Alex's human intuition guided him differently. He devised a solution that minimized harm to both groups, taking calculated risks and inspiring others to act. His approach balanced logic with compassion, creativity with courage. The council observed in silence as the crisis was resolved successfully. When the last pulse of danger subsided, murmurs turned into discussions and then into nods of approval. Alex had done more than meet expectations. He had shown them that humanity could contribute uniquely to Corellian society. Lyra stepped forward. "You have seen the human in action," she said. "You have witnessed courage, creativity, and empathy. These are not merely words or simulations. They are qualities that Alex Carter embodies. I seek a partner who inspires greatness, and I have found that in him." A long silence followed. Finally, the eldest council member spoke. "Humans are unpredictable, yes, but this one has proven remarkable. He has acted with courage, insight, and compassion. He has shown that your admiration is justified. Lyra, this council grants its cautious approval, with the understanding that mutual respect and observation will continue." Relief flooded Alex. He had feared rejection, ridicule, or failure, but now he saw the value of being human recognized in a society that often dismissed outsiders. He realized that courage, empathy, and ingenuity were more than personal traits. They were universal strengths that could inspire respect and change. Lyra's eyes shone with pride. She took his hand gently. "You have done more than I hoped, Alex. You have proven that humans can rise to challenges that even the most advanced species underestimate. This council now sees what I see, a human capable of standing alongside Corellians as an equal, a partner, and a source of inspiration." Alex felt a surge of purpose and connection. He had navigated cultural barriers, faced moral dilemmas, and shown courage in both action and spirit. For the first time, he truly understood why Lyra had chosen him, not for perfection, not for novelty, but for the unique qualities that humans could bring to the galaxy. As he walked with Lyra through the glowing corridors of the council hall, he realized that his journey was far from over. Challenges would continue, both from the galaxy and from the complexities of interspecies life. But he was ready. He had proven himself not only to Lyra and the council, but to himself. Being human was no longer a limitation. It was a strength, a gift, and a force capable of inspiring wonder and respect. For Alex Carter, the universe had opened a new chapter. With Lyra by his side, he could face any challenge, confident that courage, empathy, and ingenuity would guide him, and that humans could truly shine among the stars. Alex Carter had never expected his day to turn into something so strange. The Orinthia trading hub was always busy, with humans, aliens, and machines moving in a constant, almost chaotic rhythm. The air smelled of exotic spices, ozone from the ships, and the tang of metals. Alex moved carefully through the crowd, his translator device scanning sounds and symbols, converting alien languages into something his brain could comprehend. He loved this work. Every word, every phrase, every gesture was a puzzle that made him feel alive. He paused at a stall selling shimmering fabrics from the ice worlds of Grelth, noting how the patterns shifted when light hit them. A small voice in his earpiece translated the seller's alien language. "For the one who sees truth in colors, these weave your path." Alex smiled faintly. Humans often valued practicality, but there was something in the artistry of alien culture that always captured his attention. Alex Carter, A voice called, soft but precise, carrying an unfamiliar accent. He turned and saw her. She was unlike any alien he had ever encountered. Her skin shimmered faintly, a pearlescent hue that caught the light in a way that made it seem alive. Her eyes were large and violet, intelligent and calm, yet with a glimmer of mischief. She moved with fluidity as if the air itself acknowledged her presence. Yes, Alex replied cautiously, glancing around to see if this was some kind of scam or trap. He had learned over his years as a xenolinguist to trust nothing immediately. The alien woman inclined her head slightly, a gesture he could almost interpret as polite. "I am Lyra," she said. Her voice was melodic, almost musical, yet direct. "And I have a question for you, human. One that may seem unusual." Alex blinked. He had met countless aliens, and he had encountered strange proposals before. Partnerships, research collaborations, and even requests to mediate territorial disputes. But nothing like this had ever crossed his path. "Unusual how?" he asked cautiously. Lyra's gaze held his steadily, unblinking. "What if I married you?" The words were simple, but the weight behind them pressed on Alex's mind like gravity. He opened his mouth to speak, but no words came. He had to check if he had heard her correctly. "You want to marry me?" He finally managed. "Yes," she said calmly, as if asking the question was the most ordinary thing in the universe. "I have observed your species for some time. Your courage, your creativity, your ability to connect with others. I have decided that you would make a worthy partner. Will you accept?" Alex took a step back. His mind raced. Marrying a Corellian was almost unheard of. Their culture was proud, advanced, and highly selective about bonds, especially with humans. Most species viewed interstellar unions with caution, often forbidding them altogether, and yet here she was, looking at him as if the decision were entirely his to make. I don't know what to say," he admitted honestly. "I've never even thought about, well, marriage with an alien species, let alone you." Lyra smiled faintly, the kind of smile that seemed to warm the air around her. "Then say nothing. Observe, learn, and decide later. But I wanted you to know that the offer exists. Courage is often tested in choice, human. I admire yours already in facing it." Alex blinked again. There was an unexpected intensity in her words that made his heart race. He wanted to say something witty, something clever, but instead he found himself nodding slowly. "All right, I guess I'll learn more about you first." Lyra's expression brightened ever so slightly. "Good, that is all I ask for now. Come with me." They walked together through the bustling hub. Alex noticed the way the crowd instinctively parted. Some humans giving curious glances, some aliens bowing slightly in acknowledgement of her status. It became clear that Lyra was important, someone of influence. Yet she moved without arrogance, a graceful confidence that drew attention without demanding it. As they passed a stall selling floating holographic pets, Lyra picked one up, letting it hover over her hand. "Curious creatures," she remarked. "Your species' fascination with small things that mimic life is charming." Alex chuckled nervously. "They're not exactly intelligent, but they're entertaining." He felt the ice of his initial shock melting slightly. Talking with her was like walking a tightrope over uncharted waters, exciting and dangerous yet exhilarating. After navigating through the crowd, Lyra led him to a quieter area near the observation deck, which overlooked the sprawl of Arinthia City below. The lights of alien ships crisscrossed the sky like streams of liquid color, and the hum of engines was like a heartbeat of the hub itself. "Why me?" Alex asked finally, breaking the silence. "There must be millions of humans out there. Why choose me?" Lyra's eyes softened. "You have a gift, human. You see not only words but meaning, not only patterns but purpose. Your species has potential that even we, the Corellians, rarely witness in such concentrated form. I have observed others who are clever, strong, or resourceful, but you inspire. I wish to share that inspiration with someone capable of understanding it." Alex felt a shiver run down his spine. Humans were often underestimated by alien races, considered primitive or impulsive, and yet here she was, valuing what humans brought to the universe. For the first time, he felt proud not for his personal achievements but for being human. "But marriage," he said slowly. "It's not just about admiration. It's about trust, responsibility, understanding." Lyra nodded. "Exactly. That is why I have not pressured you. Observation first. Trust grows in its own time." The sound of alarms suddenly broke the calm. Red lights flashed along the observation deck and a voice blared through the speakers. Unauthorized vessel approaching. Security, respond! Alex's pulse quickened. He had no time to question the absurdity of being proposed to by an alien, while a security threat loomed. Lyra's hand brushed his briefly, not in fear but in assurance. Stay close, she instructed. The crowd around them panicked. Alien merchants scrambled to protect their goods. Ships docked hastily, engines flaring as pilots prepared for departure. Alex realized that even in such chaos, Lyra's presence inspired calm. People moved with purpose around her, as if her mere existence created order amidst the disorder. A sleek ship descended and figures in armored suits moved with precision. Alex's heart pounded as he realized this was not a drill. Who are they? He whispered. They seek to test me, Lyra said quietly. And now, by proximity, they test you as well. Before he could react, she tapped a small device on her wrist. A shield shimmered around them, pushing back the advancing figures. Alex stumbled slightly but caught himself, amazed by the technology. You're defending me? He asked, still incredulous. I do not leave my decisions to chance, she replied simply. Do not fear. Observe. Learn. Decide. In the next moments, the attackers were repelled by a combination of precision, skill, and something Alex could only describe as instinctive brilliance. He realized then that choosing to marry a human was not just a whim. It was a calculated decision, reflecting judgment, trust, and respect. When the threat subsided, Lyra lowered the shield. She looked at him with that same calm, unwavering gaze. You see, human, in all situations, courage, wisdom, and understanding matter. These are traits your species possesses in abundance if nurtured properly. Alex could barely speak. His mind spun from the adrenaline, the shock, and the awe of the encounter. Finally, he managed, I think I understand. Maybe this isn't as impossible as I thought. Lyra smiled just slightly, but it was enough to make his chest tighten. Good. That is a beginning. We shall learn together, human, and in time you will decide for yourself. For the first time, Alex looked at himself not merely as a human among aliens, but as a human who could stand out, who could inspire, and who could be extraordinary in ways even the Corellians could admire. And in that moment, as the stars of Orinthia twinkled around them, he realized that his life had just taken a turn he could never have imagined. And perhaps, just perhaps, he was ready to embrace it.